A very good morning all of you. Welcome back to STLD lab. In today's lab session we are going to see how to design and simulate the asynchronous counters. So to understand design part, please refer to the STLD theory lecture asynchronous counters, where we have discussed how to design asynchronous counters, either up counter or down counter, by using flip-flops. So now coming to the lab session, we are going to see total 7 circuits. So 3 circuits for up counter and 3 circuits for down counter and 1 circuit for the up down counter. So let's directly go to the simulation part and see the simulation of the counters. First, let us start with the 2-bit up counter, which can count from 0 to 3. If you look at here, I have used JK flip-flop in toggle mode condition. That means my J and K are connected to J and K are shorted and connected to a single switch. If I keep J equals to 1, K equals to 1, it will be equivalent to a T flip-flop in toggling condition. And my preset is connected here and clear is connected for the each flip-flop. And if you look at here, since it's asynchronous counter, only clock is given to the first flip-flop, and second flip-flop clock is given from the previous flip-flop Q bar output. If you give Q bar output, it will act as a up counter. If you give Q as a clock to the next flip-flop, it will act as a down counter. So we'll start the simulation. If you look at here, I provide a 7-segment display here. Since it's a 2-bit counter, I get only 2 output lines. These 2 output lines are connected to the first 2 bits of the BCD to 7-segment display, and rest 2 bits are permanently connected to 0. So it will count as 0 0 0 0, then 0 0 0 1, 0 0 1 0, and 0 0 1 1, and come back to 0. So let's run the simulation. So initially you don't see anything. You have to clear the flip-flop first. So I have cleared the flip-flop. Still you don't see anything. You have to enable the clock. So let's make it 1 Hz frequency. So now you enable the clock. Even if you enable the clock, you don't see the counting, like up counting, because your J and K are 0 0. That means a memory state. The moment you keep J equals to 1 and K equals to 1, it is going to count in the upward direction. Now let's see. Now you can see clearly 0 1 2 3 and 0 0. So if you want to increase to 3-bit counter, what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to add one more flip-flop here and give Q bar output as a clock to the next flip-flop, and next flip-flop output connected to the third input of this BCD to 7-segment display, where you can see the up counting from 0 to 7. That we will see in a moment. Now you can see here, this is a 3-bit up counter. All the connections are same. Your preset and clear are connected as a common input for all the 3 flip-flops. Now let's make it J equals to 1 and K equals to 1, and before that please clear your flip-flops to all 0 state. Now let me make it J equals to 1 and K equals to 1, and it is going to count from 0 to 7. So this is for the 3-bit up counter. If you want to count a 4-bit counter, like you want to count from 0 to F, then you need to increase one more flip-flop here, and you have to give the clock for that particular flip-flop from Q bar of this particular flip-flop. So let we'll see in a moment. So now you can see here, this is a 4-bit up counter, where you are going to see 0 to F. Let me make it J equals to 1 and K equals to 1. Rest all the connections are same. And let me clear it once. Now you can see it is going to count from 0 to F. So this is how you are going to use flip-flops to generate a up counter. Now you are going to see to count the down counting. That means 3 to 0 or 7 to 0 or F to 0. The circuit is same except your clock connection for the second, third and fourth flip-flop. You have to give clock connection from the Q side instead of Q bar side. That we'll see in a moment. Now you can see here, this is a 2-bit down counter. If you observe carefully, everything is same. Only difference is here second flip-flop clock is coming from the Q instead of Q bar. and your preset is connected common and clear is connected common, and your J and K are connected with a single switch. Now we'll simulate this down counter. So let me clear it first. So all the flip-flop in 0 state. Now let me start the clock. Now we'll make J equals to 1, K equals to 1. Now it is going to count from 0 to 3 first, then 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and 1 to 0. Let's see. So 3 2 1 0, 3 2 1 0. This is for 2-bit down counter. If you want to increase to 3-bit, just you need to increase one more flip-flop here, and you connect this Q as a clock to the next flip-flop. That we'll see in a moment. So this is a 3-bit down counter. As I said, you just need to increase one more flip-flop and use this as a clock for to the next flip-flop. And you can just clear the flip-flop first, and you can just make J equals 1 and K equals to 1. It's going to count from 7 to 0. This is for 3-bit down counter. For 4-bit, you need to increase one more flip-flop and do the appropriate clock connection. Now this is a 4-bit down counter where you can see 4 flip-flops are connected. Let me make it J equals to 1 and K equals to 1 and clear the flip-flops. Now you can see it is counting from F to 0. So this is how we can use a flip-flop to count up counter and down counter. Instead of using two separate circuits, we can construct a circuit where we can use a single circuit for counting both upward direction as well as downwards direction. We'll see in a moment that particular circuit. Now you can see here, this is a common circuit for up counting as well as down counting. If you look at here, we have one extra control input here. This is a control input. This decides whether counting should be taken place up counting or down counting depending on our select line. If you choose M equals 0, it enables Q as a clock to the next flip-flop. If you keep M equals 1, it enables Q bar as act as a clock to the next flip-flop. As a result, we are going to see up counting and down counting. Let's start the simulation. Let me clear all the flip-flops, then start the clock. Let me make it 1 Hz frequency so that we can see clearly. So let me start the clock. Now it is in, now let's make M equals 0, that is control equals 0. Let's make J equals 0, sorry, J equals to 1 and K equals to 1. Now you can see it is counting in the downwards direction, 3 2 0. Since my control input is 0 here. If I make my control input 1, now it's going to count from 0 to 3. You can see 0, 1, 2, 3 and 0. Again, if we make 0, it's going to count from 3 2 1. So this is how we can use a simple OR AND OR combination here. This AND OR combination will allow at a given point of time either Q as a clock to the next flip-flop or Q bar as a clock to the next flip-flop. This is for 2-bit. We can extend this circuit to 3-bit, 4-bit and so on. 3-bit. So let me make J equals to 1, K equals to 1 and clear equals 0. Now you can see here when M is 0, it is counting downside 7, 6 and so on. And if I make M equals to 1, that is control equals to 1, it is going to count in the upward direction. Now you can see here it is counting in the upward direction. Similarly, you can extend it to 4-bit by just by extending the same circuit between the flip-flops. So this is all for your up counter, down counter in a asynchronous mode. In the next lab session, we are going to see how to design the synchronous counter using the flip-flops. Thank you all.